Welcome to Anunnaki and the secret origin of vampires. Today, we will dive into an incredible story that connects the ancient Anunnaki with the mysteries of human evolution and the emergence of beings different from us, from giants and cyclopes to the legends of vampires. We will explore ancient texts, archaeological discoveries, and scientific facts that may explain how the Anunnaki experimented with early humans, creating higher beings. Join me as we uncover the mysteries that combine science, mythology, and dark legends that have left their mark on our history. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this video. Let's get started.
For millennia, beneath the surface of our familiar histories, a stranger story has persisted. One woven of myth, ancient scripts, and the silent signatures left by civilization's first builders. It is a story that suggests we are not alone in our origins, that something greater may once have walked among us. And that, just perhaps, the extraordinary legends of inhuman creatures, those who haunt the night, are echoes of ancient experiments gone awry. This is the story of the Anunnaki and the cryptic, compelling origins of the vampire. Picture for a moment the cosmos, silent, cold, infinite, a black canvas speckled with a billion stars. Then, as if through a tear in the dark, we descend upon the cradle of civilization, ancient Mesopotamia. In the gathering twilight, a solitary ziggurat rises, stair-stepped and monumental, its bricks luminous with 1,000 years of myth. It is here, the old stories tell us, that the first gods came down from the sky. The Sumerians called these beings the Anunnaki, those who came from the heavens to earth. Revered as gods, feared as judges, they are credited with bestowing knowledge, astronomy, metallurgy, writing. Carved into clay tablets in wedge-shaped cuneiform, their tales speak of gifts given, and some whisper of darker experiments. Among these records lies a bolder claim. The Anunnaki did not merely instruct humanity, they created it. Translated and debated for generations, the myth recounts an epoch when the Anunnaki, desirous of laborers to work the rivers and fields, set about shaping new beings. Through an alchemy of their own essence and that of the primitive hominins dwelling in the region, the first people were fashioned, part Anunnaki, part earthborn. Some scholars dismiss this as mere metaphor, a way to explain humanity's sudden rise. Others, however, scrutinize the details, the tools, the laboratories, even diagrams that, when viewed through a modern lens, strikingly evoke the language of genetics, of blending the code of the gods with that of beasts. Scientific discovery, of course, offers its own commentary. Today, we know that Homo sapiens contains between 1 and 4% Neanderthal DNA, a testament to eons of crossbreeding between species. Genetic mutation, too, is a constant engine of adaptation, driving the endless parade of forms that evolution produces. We are, in essence, the sum of countless experiments, each encoded in the double helix of our DNA. But what if, in some forgotten dawn, experiments did indeed occur, not just those of nature, but the willful efforts of ancient visitors? If so, not all would have gone according to plan. Hidden within the annals of Sumer and Babylon are stories of children of failure, creatures born neither wholly human nor entirely divine. To the ancients, these anomalies were terrors and omens, cyclopes with a single eye, giants, misshapen monsters. In archaeological sites across Europe and Asia, researchers have uncovered skulls elongated or malformed in strange ways, sometimes the result of rare genetic mutations, sometimes due to deliberate ritual shaping, and sometimes still unexplained. Science, in its restless curiosity, can point to conditions that produce giants and cyclopes, gigantism, cyclopia, and other rare syndromes. These failures, whether born of nature or something else, would have haunted their communities with their difference, living reminders of the fragility and unpredictability of life's code. Within this context, one legend has proven more stubborn and more sinister than all others: the vampire. Across the world's cultures, tales persist of pale, ghastly beings who cannot stand the touch of the sun, who walk by night and crave the taste of blood. Medical science offers plausible explanations for some aspects of vampire lore. Porphyria, for instance, a rare genetic disease, renders the skin blistered and raw under sunlight and can give the teeth a disturbing, fang-like appearance. Rabies, likewise, is an affliction that changes behavior, kindling irrational aggression, a terror of water, and bouts of biting. For those who witnessed such ailments in ages past, the sufferer would have seemed aligned with something monstrous, something not of this world. The echoes do not end in myth. Across the continents, archaeologists have unearthed graves bearing unsettling signs, skeletons buried with iron rods thrust through their chests, heavy stones jammed between their jaws, limbs bound with ropes. In Poland, Bulgaria, and Italy, these vampire burials speak of a pervasive, deep-rooted fear that the dead might rise and that something other than grief prowled the darkness. Such funerary customs, scholars now believe, were responses to the shock of premature decomposition, the strange moans of trapped air escaping from the dead, the mysterious spread of plague. Lacking medical knowledge, communities sought supernatural answers and wielded iron and stone against their imagined foes. In the soil, the mingling of reason and terror is still visible, preserved in the positions and artifacts that surround the bones. And yet, one question remains, persistent as a heartbeat. Why vampires? Why creatures defined so specifically by their difference, by their inability to exist beneath the sun, their insatiable hunger for the life force of others? A controversial theory proposes that these stories of Anunnaki, failed hybrids, and the night-walking dead are not isolated, but fragments of a much older, larger puzzle. If, as the Sumerian clay proclaims, ancient visitors did tamper with the blueprint of life, the results would not have been uniform. Alongside the majority, adapting, strengthening, learning, there would have been others, mutants, anomalies, those less suited to the new world's light. Perhaps, the theory goes, these others, with their unusual appearance, unique vulnerabilities, and odd cravings, became the prototypes for the nightmare figures that haunt our folklore. Their legacy, encoded in myth and perhaps even in residual stretches of our DNA, lingers on. It is a tantalizing idea that our monsters are not merely figments of fear, but memories, distorted by time, of ancient, very real experiments. A shadow descends once more as science scans the depths of the human genome, searching for anomalies and signatures left by hands unseen. DNA spirals flicker across computer screens, while outside, the stars continue their silent watch. The monuments of the ages, ziggurats, standing stones, pyramids, stand as witness, enduring reminders of questions left unanswered. People of every color, every creed, pass each other in the streets, unaware that in the molecules of their blood, the residue of ancient stories may yet persist. So, what is the truth? Did the Anunnaki, as the Sumerians insisted, reach down from the heavens and shape us in their image? Are tales of vampires and monsters mere metaphors, heady inventions woven from ignorance and fear? Or are they whispers of genetic memory, the residue of ancient audacity forever hidden in the winding corridors of our chromosomes? Perhaps the answer lies not in brittle tablets or shattered graves, but within ourselves, in strands of code coiled invisibly under the skin. One certainty remains: stories of others, of those who defy the easy boundaries of human and not, still fascinate and frighten us, just as they did our ancestors long ago. The night passes, the world turns. In the golden light of modern cities, their history merged with myth. The old fears linger, softer but undimmed. Zooming out, Earth itself spins, a blue-green orb that has known countless sunrises, carrying all the questions, secrets, and creatures, real or imagined, that have ever trod its surface. And as another night falls, the legends live on. The unknown still beckons, promising that the mysteries at the edge of our history and of our genes are far from solved.